I could even
At a
go higher.
5.
5 to 6. All right. Someone said 5.5. The Teenage Experiment said 5.5. Someone said 6. Yeah, it's about a 6. 5 to 6, something like that. Yeah. I mean, there is this is probably like a really difficult example because most men, I mean, on the whole, on the planet Earth, aren't attracted to black women. So that may be that may influence her rating in the live chat. She's cute. Some will say 7, some will say 5. Somewhere along that. Looking like this, do you think she bases what she should be able to attract or settle for, or her standards? Do you think she bases it on what she looks like as she looks here, or as she looks here?
What? Yeah. There you go. Wow. Holy shit.
That's the wrong one, but yeah. I mean, um, is any part of her real? Like nothing. I mean, her teeth, I guess. So yeah, because women are highly sought after and have such high sensual market value, they can afford to select sensually for traits more attractive than they possess themselves. So if most women have high SMV and are aiming upwards, then this leaves a subset of men at the bottom with small to no opportunities to date. The Black Pill describes a set of a tendency in behavior, in physical attractiveness. I mean, physical attractiveness has to attract physically, otherwise it doesn't mean anything. We're moving into an era where they are likely to either never get a relationship, or they'll have their first relationship at like 35, 40 when they get settled for. And women just have no understanding of the male experience of dating. And so that is a tenet of the Black Pill that I think we should be pushing. Again, not pushing that all women want Chad, because that the Black Pill describes a tendency, not case by case. And I said that women's perception of their own attractiveness raises their standards, and such that it squeezes a lot of men out of the dating market.
Yeah. Which is not like an attraction.
One thing I have seen studies on is that what women find attractive change as they age. So when they're like in their early teens, they're more attracted to the sort of the Justin Bieber sort of style of looks. But as they get older, sort of in their as they sort of edge towards their prime, that's when they're more attracted to sort of stereotypical Chad, what we would call a stereotypical Chad. And then as they get older, as they get into their 30s, they then are more attracted to that sort of older, sophisticated looking Chad rather than the bad boy Chad.
So the common theme is like Chad.
Can that be considered just to be a...
Yeah, I think that's what...
The common theme is when women say they like different types of men, hey, we're not just a monolith, we like different types of men. Yeah. Chad with glasses, Chad bodybuilder, black Chad, white Chad, Asian Chad, Chad who works on a building site, Chad who works as a architect. Like the common theme. Yes. There's a common theme there, but I can't quite work it out. We shouldn't be arguing that the Black Pill is a broad prescription for every single relationship. It's a tendency. And also, some of these tenets are what we should argue, not the broader picture, but like some of these arguments that I've been bringing up. For instance, women select for a narrow set of sensual traits, such that most men are below average attractiveness to women. And the threshold for what women deem average attractiveness is rising. So women are like, for instance, yesteryear's 5 is like yesteryear's 5 is like a technically like a 3.5 to them now. So let me move on to this. So women will view a 5 as a 3.5 now because of just how the Overton window in their attraction switches. I think that's better. Have changed. Nick, do you want to say something, or shall I get a caller? All right.
Well, yeah. I mean, Tinder's where it's the most brutal. Like online is where they're going to be even more. I mean, they're able to be more brutal than in person because they can literally curate what they want, like what's coming on the screen, who's talking to them, who they're matching with. So yeah, they can be as brutal as they want, and the world is trending that way. That's the unfortunate thing, that we are going towards online. We're moving online. We're moving more virtual. More relationships are starting online. There is still, the ability to cold approach, warm approach, social circle, but it is decreasing rapidly, and with COVID, it's decreasing even more rapidly.
Yeah, I think COVID. I've said this before. COVID was like it kind of not jump started, but boosted the trajectory that we were already on. It made things like exponentially worse. So for like a year and a half, women didn't have to put up with ugly guys. They just saw the men to which they were attracted. Everyone below a certain threshold got left swiped and, disappeared and ethered. But when women were thrust back out into, real life, having had a year of not having to, suffer the indignity of seeing ugly men, their standards now are still stuck in 2020 when they didn't have to see ugly men. So their appetite for Chad is like the appetite they had for Chad, artificially like generated during lockdown, is going to continue. Women will find it an insult that men that they could have left swiped, that they would have left swiped in 2020 during lockdown, that these men can now approach them now, because in real life women can't left swipe you as easy. So it's you're going to probably see some more cases of what's the word I'm looking for? Women call it harassment. When an ugly guy approaches, you're going to see like more cases of that, because men are coming out of lockdown thinking, hey, now I could approach women again, not knowing that the Overton window has shifted during Chad 19. Dear How to Do It, I'm an attractive and intelligent woman in my mid-30s. Well, you know that when women are in their mid-30s and think they're attractive and intelligent, they're probably overestimating, based on yes, the inflated sense of their inflated perception they have of themselves, because so many men are approaching them. So again, that goes into the point I made before. To a certain extent, I know these things to be true. I've worked for 15 years as a successful commercial model, probably like catalog at best, probably not a catwalk model. Let's be honest. Let's be real about this. And I have a master's degree, probably in something like I don't know, gender studies. Who knows? Or probably helped by the male colleagues in her class, such that she barely did anything, and an above average IQ. I'm in incredible shape. Also important to add, I definitely don't come across as modest or sensually conservative. I post lingerie and bikini selfies. I got a lot of emotional and intellectual fulfillment from my relationships with friends and family. When I date, my primary interest is finding partners who excite me physically and fulfill me sensually. For reasons I don't understand, I rarely attract these men anymore because of your aging, possibly. Yes. The men who flock to me, here we go, the men who flock to me asking me out to the tune of several times a week are average or below average looking smart guys. These men have everything I'm looking for in a friend, but they aren't what I want in a dating partner. My take is that they think my academic interests are and penchant for elevated conversation will make me fall for them despite an obvious attractiveness gap. If I was looking for a marriage partner or someone to start a family with, that might be true, but I'm not. I want, oh my gosh, she just described beta bucks, alpha, you know what? Did you miss that? I'll say that again in case you miss it. Okay.
No, it's just, I'm stunned that they're actually writing this shit, and it's okay to just write it. Like, there's no backlash.
Oh
An
gosh.
article. It's not some random, like, post on some Reddit forum. This is an article, and they're just saying it outright.
Never before, I don't think, in any point in human history, have women been as blatant with their hypergamy, their desire, their entitlement. I don't think that we've ever seen a time in human history when they've been as blatant. I'll just
And
go.
then they even say in this article, they have everything looking for in a friend.
Yeah.
So it's like, but we'll just fix your personality, bro.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, why would they be saying that if the personality was the problem? It's clearly not the personality.
Yeah, the looks are what where these men are coming short. The personality is good enough for them to be friends.
Yes, if the personality was shit, why would they want to be friends? So the personality is not the issue; it's the looks that are the issue.
It's mind-blowing that this is like controversial and people disagree with this stuff. I mean, the black pill, like I think I said this before, the black pill should make the most sense in the world. It should make sense even without TikTok. But yeah, anyway, so she says, my take is that they think my academic interests and penchant for elevated conversation will make me fall for them despite an obvious attractiveness gap. If I was looking for a marriage partner or someone to start a family with, that might be true, but I'm not. I want hot intimacy with semi-committed medium-term partners. I don't want to read the rest of it.
And this
I
is
don't care.
45. This is not even like a woman in her prime. This is well past her prime.
So can you imagine women in their prime?
Oh, it's brutal.
So I had a note.
Man, in public.
Yeah, the average man incites no sensual desire in a woman's loins, whereas an average woman,
an average woman
to a man is like, we really, really accept it. Men just have wider tastes, like broader range of what we want, desire in women. So we like chubby women, BBW, skinny, small chest, big chest. Like it's so much easier to get. I guess it was so much easier to build the fat acceptance movement around women because men accept women who are fat. We do accept women Anyway, so looks are the biggest influencer of how you're perceived. I don't care. I don't care if you think, hey, well, what about intelligence? What about looks are. I'm preaching to the choir. You know this stuff. Women with their bad genetics are reproducing, so it's not as if at least the greater good is that heading towards better looking people. No, because obviously environment can still affect looks, so you're still going to have ugly people, and women themselves are bringing their subhumanity into relationships. Some plebs are unique.
The same thing as
go ahead.
That's just the same thing as people saying, well, two attractive people having children, they must then be attractive, but that's not necessarily true because of genetic recombination and a whole other range of factors. So it's not really for that either. So yeah.
So y'all look at how hot my boyfriend is. Yeah, so even she's surprised.
Not even that attractive. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like she's just an average, like she's not like a Stacy, she's like an average Becky. And look at what she's with.
They are not in the same category. I'm not saying she's ugly or anything. I'm not like trying to be rude.
No,
or anything,
neither. But like, it's just you know, and
Yeah.
and people try to deny the fact that this is, you know, the ordeals that we have to deal with when there's average looking women with literal, you know, chads, high tier chads. It's I think that the black pill as a whole is more geared to being able to predict societal's movement towards the apex theory. So
Yeah.
not really able to predict individual cases of pair bonding, I guess, or people being in
Yeah.
relationships, but rather predicting society as a whole and trends in the way women are choosing partners in the modern world. I think that's what we need to focus on rather than focus on individual cases, because it's just impossible to predict that. I don't think any theory can predict that because there's just too many variables.
Yeah, I think we should make it clear that that's out of scope of the black pill. The black pill isn't a prescription for case by case. So yeah, so whenever someone says, "Hey, look at this guy dating this ugly guy dating this girl, where's your black pill now?" We'll be like, we should say, the black pill doesn't say that that's impossible. We just say it's just the trend that's just unlikely. It's very unlikely.
Difficult to achieve, but it's not impossible. Yes.
Yeah.